Welcome back to Best English Podcast. I'm Sarah. This is episode 51, and today we are doing something I have never done before on this channel. Usually, you watch my videos for 10 or 15 minutes. You learn a few words, you feel good, and you click away. But today is different. Today is a workshop. I want you to look at the last week of your life. How many hours of English did you listen to? Podcasts, YouTube, Netflix? Maybe 5 hours? Maybe 10? Now, how many minutes did you spend speaking? If the answer is 0 or very little, you are caught in the passive trap. You are an expert at understanding, but a beginner at speaking. You have a bridge missing in your brain. You see, the part of your brain that understands language, Wernicke's area, is not the same as the part that produces speech, Broca's area. Watching Netflix trains the first part. It does almost nothing for the second part. So for the next minutes, we are going to build that bridge. We are going to do 3 intense cycles of practice. The narrative cycle, retelling a story. The dialogue cycle, mastering conversation. The hypothetical cycle, using advanced logic. Turn off your notifications, close the other tabs. If you want to leave the intermediate plateau, you need to do the work. Let's build the bridge. We start with a simple B1 story. This is about a misunderstanding in a coffee shop. Step 1 is input. I am going to read the story at natural speed. Don't analyze it, just close your eyes and visualize the movie in your head. Yesterday morning, I went to my favorite coffee shop to get some work done. It was very crowded, but I found a small table in the corner. I put my laptop on the table and went to the counter to order a cappuccino. When I came back with my coffee, I saw a stranger sitting at my table. He was typing on my laptop. I was shocked. I walked up to him and said, "Excuse me, that's my computer." The man looked at me confused. He pointed to the table next to us. There was my laptop sitting on the empty table. I had walked to the wrong table. I was so embarrassed that I took my coffee and left the shop immediately. Sarah, a nightmare, right? Did you catch the details? Where did she sit? What was the stranger doing? What was the reality? She was at the wrong table. Now, we are going to fix your rhythm. I will read one sentence. Then there will be a silence gap. You must repeat it exactly. Do not read the subtitles. Listen to my music. A timer appears on screen for the silence. Yesterday morning, I went to my favorite coffee shop. It was very crowded, but I found a small table. When I came back, I saw a stranger sitting at my table. He was typing on my laptop. I was so embarrassed that I took my coffee and left. Now we switch to active mode. I want you to retell this story, but you are going to change the subject. I told the story as I. I want you to tell the story about Sarah, she. Be careful. I went becomes she went. My laptop becomes her laptop. Ready? I will give you the prompt. You speak to the screen. Prompt 1. Where did Sarah go yesterday? She went to her favorite coffee shop. Prompt 2. What happened when she came back from the counter? She saw a stranger sitting at her table. Prompt 3. How did she feel at the end? She was so embarrassed that she left. Excellent! That mental click you feel, that effort, that is the bridge being built. We are moving up a level. Stories are easy because one person speaks. Dialogues are harder because you have to react. This scenario is a job interview. Listen to this conversation between a manager and a candidate. Listen for the negative forms. Manager: have you ever worked in a team before? Candidate: yes, I have, but I haven't managed a team directly. Manager: that's okay. We aren't looking for a manager yet. We need someone who doesn't panic under pressure. Candidate: that fits me perfectly. I don't mind tight deadlines and I never complain about hard work. Okay, let's look at the chunks here. I haven't managed, present perfect negative. We aren't looking for, present continuous negative. I don't mind, this means it is okay for me, a very common native phrase. Now, you are going to be the candidate. I will be the manager. I will ask you the questions. You must read the lines on the screen, but act them. Don't be a robot. Be a human. Have you ever worked in a team before? Yes, I have, but I haven't managed a team directly. That's okay. We aren't looking for a manager yet. We need someone who doesn't panic under pressure. That fits me perfectly. I don't mind tight deadlines. In English conversations, B1 learners always answer. They never ask. To be B2, you must ask. I will give you an answer. You must create the question. Answer: no, I haven't worked here long. Ask the question. Correct. Question: have you worked here long? Answer: she doesn't like working on weekends. Ask the question about she. Correct. Question: does she like working on weekends? Notice the auxiliary verbs. Have you? Does she? This needs to be automatic. You are doing great. We are 35 minutes in. Most people have quit by now. You are still here. That means you are serious. Now we tackle the hardest part of B1/B2, abstract thinking. Listen to this short situation. Tom found a wallet on the street yesterday. It had $1,000 inside and an ID card. Tom was broke and needed money for rent. However, he looked at the ID, found the address, and returned the wallet. The owner was so happy that he gave Tom a job. The grammar of what if. Sarah: we use the third conditional to talk about the past that didn't happen. Structure: if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle. Let's look at the alternative reality. Reality: he returned the wallet. Alternative: if he hadn't returned the wallet. I am going to give you the first half of a sentence about Tom. You must finish it. There is no script. You must create the ending. Prompt 1. If Tom had kept the money. Sarah: possible answers. He would have paid his rent, or he would have felt guilty. Prompt 2. If the owner hadn't given him a job. Sarah: possible answers. Tom would have remained broke, or Tom would have looked for another job. This is hard, right? This forces your brain to calculate logic and grammar at the same time. This is the ultimate bridge to fluency. We have gone through 3 cycles. We retold a story about a coffee shop. We role-played a job interview. We analyzed a hypothetical moral dilemma. You might feel tired. Your brain might feel a little foggy. That is a good sign. That is the feeling of growth. Passive listening feels easy. Active bridging feels like a workout. The final homework. I want you to take one of these stories, the coffee shop, the interview, or the wallet. I want you to record a 60-second audio clip on your phone. But here's the twist. Lie. Change the ending. Maybe in the coffee shop, the stranger was stealing the laptop. Maybe Tom kept the money. Why lie? Because lying requires you to construct a new reality in English. It is the ultimate test of control. If you made it to the end of this 50-minute workshop, write in the comments, "I crossed the bridge." I want to see how many of you are truly dedicated. This has been episode 51 of Best English Podcast. Don't just listen, speak. I'll see you in the next one.